everyone, and welcome back to another video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the angle grinder out and I'm going to get all this back as much as I can to see what this is like underneath, and see if I'm going to be able to patch or if I'm going to need to order some panels. Yeah, it's pretty crispy under here. I'm hoping it doesn't go too deep. Okay, it's back to bare metal. This part here is needing a replacement, probably from about here. In front there's a couple of welds that I can just fill in, they're fine. I'll put rust treatment over the older metal, albeit there is no rust, it's just as an extra precaution. So the worst bit on this, as I said before, is here. This is a few weeks later to the last video because I've been doing other bits to edit the back, but I've got this repair panel that's going to sit in there, and it'll take away all the bad metal. There's bits at the front that I'll focus on later that I can just hopefully fill in with weld. But there's also rot on the wheel arch at the bottom here, so I'm going to need to do repairs when I'm in here, but it makes sense weld the access in here. So the first thing I need to do is get this seal cover strip off. There we go. Oh, what a relief. Yeah, actually quite good condition. But yeah, it gives me access now just to get in here, cut this and get into this bit here. I've cut the rot off the back quarter panel, and yeah, I knew this patch here was going to give me bother, but as you can see there's a bit come through here as well, so it just seems to be patch after patch just now. The thing is, once I grind this back it's probably going to ruin this lip, so I'm going to have to do a few patch repairs on here. The good thing is it doesn't go above here, because getting in here is not great access for welding, so it means at the moment I can cut a patch here and cut a patch here, and I am aware it's patch and patch and patch, but I am just trying to keep this car going. At the moment his full restoration time will come, and yeah, you can see the start of just all the rust holes coming through, but at least if I can do them now and treat them properly and fix them properly, it'll stop it and it'll slow it down. So yeah, I'm going to finish that one today. I've got a few other things to do to other cars, so I'm not going to do any more grinding today. And yeah, so good news and bad news. Holes are the bad news. Good news is it's accessible to welding. As I have been in this video, I've been busy off camera again. I've now got this back piece cut to fit, so it fits in nicely. Underneath, I've cut away the rot. So I knew there was a patch here and there was a patch here from the previous footage, but I was hoping to get away with keeping the outer lip okay with this, but unfortunately it was just too thin, and if I tried to spot weld that, there's no chance. But at the moment I'm going to try and get a bit of sheet metal, or cardboard made up sheet metal, try and get it bended, try and get it in and welded in, because at the end of the day I just need it solid. Played about for about half an hour with the metal. It's a very hard piece to shape, keeping it one piece, because obviously you've got this bend here, this bend here, this bend here, and it also bends that way. But for the purpose of where it is, I'm quite happy with it at the moment. What I'm going to do is get it tacked in, and then once it's tacked in I can shape this bit a bit more. I've made this purposefully a bit longer so I can grind it back to match the panel here, rather grind off than weld stuff on. So once it's welded in, I still need to bend this in slightly up the top so it matches on here. It is solid, so I'm just going to get all this primed. I'll put seam sealer on it in case there's any pin pricks, paint, and then that means I can put this top bit on. I'm not going to do too much to underneath here. I still need to do other bits. I'm going to do that later once I can get the wheel off and we can get better access. a bit further forward again. So I've got the rear valance clamped in, both on the closing plates and along here. I've not got enough clamps unfortunately because I've got one clamp at the moment, so you can see some places I need to clamp. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to clamp this back first, and that's going to free off all these clamps, then I'll just work my way along with the spot welder. What I've also done, you might notice, is the bottom ridge of the back panel, I've just cut it all the way along because I've got those replacements to go in. But I thought what I would do with this bit first is I would spot weld these two panels on, not as much as I would all three. I'll do that, then once I've got these in place, I'll spot weld again, so I'll just basically do the extra join. That way it gets this whole bottom section out of the way and it just lets me focus on this and stuff around the side. And yeah, it's just a case now of taking my time, making sure I get some decent spot welds in. So you would have seen with the small camera there, the valance is welded in. Yeah, I still need to paint this bit under here, but I don't want to put paint on this flange until this bit's been welded on. Then I can paint it to its heart's content. So I'm going to focus on this upper lip now. I've kind of debated how to attach this. I've basically got two of these, as I showed you previously, that go in here. Now how much of this I use, I don't know. Initially I was just going to use this lip here. That would be welding all the way along, whereas if I take the light out, have a look, put it all the way up here, it basically means because it's behind where the light is, you're only going to have a small bit to weld here and here because there's nothing here, and you know you're getting good metal, but it depends on the fitment because they're magnum panels. So the only way to find out is taking the light out and having a look. Which is what I'm going to do now. This will sit there, so you're basically, you've got the other panel added in here. Let's move on that. There. So you can see you're starting to, instead of having to weld all the way along the bottom, you're simply welding this part up here and here, so it's a lot less, and I think it probably look a lot tidier when you think this is covered by the lights. Again, it depends on the fitment issue with this, but it's yeah, it's a magnum panel and it'll take longer because it needs to hold a bit more, but at the end of the day it's just my time. So yeah, I think that's probably where I'm going to go with it. Just going to cut along, put this welded on in stages. And yeah, I obviously need to make sure I'm not cutting out more than what I need. So yeah, so I'm going to probably get these marked up on here, and then I can mark what's going to be cut away. I'm also going to have to cut a bit of this panel so it fits in here. But yeah, just taking my time, chipping away. We've got this looking like a mini and rust free at the back. Ever get to that stage in a restoration where you think, oh, I went to fix a rust hole on the valance? Yeah. So this is where I find out how good the total repair panels are that go here and along here. Now I've got some points of reference. I know where the last panel lined up and compared to these lines, and I've cut it here, so I am going to need to do a bit of work because they're magnum panels. If I'm not happy with that work, I'll need to rethink it, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm pleased, obviously, underneath's done now. That's all spot welded on. The floor's done, bar some sealer on the edge and things like that, seam sealer, but yeah, and then final paint. But I can't really do any of that until I get these panels at least held in place, tapped in place, and check obviously the boot lines up okay. But this is the stage I'm at just now. I'm basically Probably going to have to trim a little bit more off this. But yeah, you can see that the corner panels are actually not looking too bad. This sticker will be coming off soon, don't worry. It will go in itself. This is obviously flimsy because it's got nothing holding it on. This panel here may give me different problems. I'll need to trim this obviously, but this probably left myself a little bit more short here on either side than I would want to. Only like maybe a millimetre, 2 millimetres. So it depends on how much I can get away with here if I need to make a slight little strip here. But yeah, I just need to play about with it and get it perfect. You can see kind of getting the angle here and here joined onto here, then getting it lined up and spot welded onto here, because when you spot weld here it's bending back that way slightly. So yeah, it's just going to take time, and I will take my time. Obviously these panels here, that's quite thick in contrast to this. This is really thick metal. I've taken the paint off the top and I've put a layer of weld through primer on the bottom, so when I do get it in place I can spot weld even just to hold it initially. But yeah, I just need to get a bit more trimmed off, get it held in place before I decide that's its final resting place. A quick update, so I've got the boot on. It seems to line up okay. I've not got any rubber on the boot, so that'll help it seal better up here. Once that's in. So yeah, I've got this tacked on at the moment. I'm going to get this back off, get it welded in place just because it'll give it more strength, but I'm happy with it where the boot is just now. So yeah, and then I can start getting some spot welds on and some tack welds all around here. I've got my grips on here, so yeah, I'm pleased with how it's looking so far. Got a lot of welding to do yet, but it's getting there. Back for another day, and I've actually got quite a bit of time today to spend on edge, so I'm hopefully going to get the whole of the lower back end tacked in place at least. So I came to this side here to get the light out, and unfortunately this is all melted, and I can't say for sure, but there's probably a high possibility that it's been me welding. So this has obviously fallen down or hit heat at some point, because it was held away by magnets, so I'm going to need to do a bit of repair. I'll see if I can get another connector for each. If not, then I'll just need to do separate bullet connectors and connect it. But I'm just going to get this light out the way just now. I'll probably just cut the wires, to be honest, because that's not coming off there, and then I can order that, and by the time I've done the rest of it, hopefully the parts will be here to repair. But it's just another little thing to an ever-growing list, so yeah, I will keep on going regardless. I'm going to go around the bottom bit, get it clamped on a bit tighter, and I'm going to get all the bottom bits spot welded. The aim then is I can take the clamps away, and all I have to do then is seam weld all the way along. Right, light skim of filler on. The only thing I kind of really need to do inside here now is get all the seam sealer on the inside, let it all dry, sand it down, primer, paint, and yeah, just get tidied up pretty much. Now it's going to take time between those stages, jumping in and out, letting things dry, sanding. It's just yeah, so this will be the last time you see it like this. I'm going to go and spend quite a few hours, over quite a few days, and I'll come back when I'm happy with the standard for the head. A lot further forward now, and a few days after the last footage. I've been chipping away, putting coats on, letting them dry, coats on, letting them dry. Primer, base coat, lacquer, filler. Point where I'm happy. It's never going to be a show quality because ideally it needs a full restoration. But I'm happy with what I've got to this. So A few finishing touches, there's a few surface bits of rust out with the repair that I want to treat, spray, want to get the lights back on, petrol tank back in, battery back on, boot back on, decals back on, and then I can start getting him back on the road to enjoy. But yeah, I still need to do sort of rolling repairs. There's still rust bits, arches underneath that I've got to pick away at, but this one in particular kept head off the road, whereas those won't. I'll just chip away and do it a bit at a time. So yeah, I'm happy with this. Once I've put this all back on, I'll come back to you and I'll kind of do a walk around to show you where I am. But yeah, it's been hard work, but I'm quite stubborn when I put my mind to it, and yeah, just took my time. And it's all free, it's labour other than the few parts I've paid. Had I got this work done at a garage, it's into the thousands, and it's not fixing the whole car. Which is why I like to bring these things to the channel. I've got the spray and stuff there, but because of the smaller areas I just used rattle cans on this, and actually it's quite a good match, this paint, because I've used it before. Takes a bit more time, and yeah, it's not as professional as spray paint, but it will in time be done that way. But yeah, like I say, happy with how it's gone. I spent the day today, and in the, I think it's 2 degrees Celsius out there. Hopefully get this back on the road. My target was yesterday. I wanted to be the start of March so I can get them back on the road. Off the Sorn, I've missed it by a day, so I've done quite well, but missed it slightly. So yeah, there's only so much you can do between letting things dry. You just can't do anything once it's painted. It's straight to the next stage. So yeah, today is the day. I am done. This part anyway. That was mammoth. I started off a hole here. I had a feeling there was stuff underneath, but that then went into the boot floor, into the wheel arch, round to the panel. And to be honest, I know I need to do stuff to the wheel arch. I know the sill needs a few things, but I can chip away at those. I can do those hopefully one at a time and one in a day so that I can still enjoy Ed. Whereas this, obviously the fuel tank came out, the battery came out, I couldn't drive them, and I've been working every minute I've had spare, just chipping away, doing 20 minutes here or there just to get them back so I can enjoy them in the summer, because that's why we do these cars. So yeah, pleased with the way it went. It's never going to be concourse, as I've said numerous times. It's a condition that I'm happy with. It's my own work, I've done it all myself, so yeah, I'm really happy. I'll go around with the small camera, all the bits I've done. I'll do the best I can with the lights, do the best in here. But yeah, for that part of it, and for the end of this series of a few videos, that's it complete. So don't give up. If you see something, don't ignore it and don't give up. Just plug away, do it a bit at a time, and they're worth saving. That's obviously why you're watching these videos, and that's why you do restorations. So I'll whiz around the small camera. I'll say thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!